Momo, would you care to come with me for a flight?
A flight? I mean, sure. Where are we going?
Oh, here and there, near and far, somewhere and nowhere.
Sophia, what is this? Just tell me.
Okay, I can't give you all the details because it would spoil the surprise. But I need you to fly over to Tokyo with me.
You want me to fly across the Pacific on a whim?
Yes.
Is this about you paying me back for the whole granddaughter thing?
It might have something to do with that, yes.
I thought you said you didn't find anything.
About your family? No. No. That went about as expected, like I told you. But I did find something. Someone. And they would really like to see you again. But we need to go to Tokyo.
I don't know. I haven't returned to Japan since the war. It's not something I thought I'd ever do again.
I get that, but I'm asking you to trust me. This will be worth it, I promise you.
This is going to take at least a few days.
I already told everyone where we'd be going. We can leave right now.
You really weren't going to take no for an answer on this, were you?
I'm telling you, you won't regret this.
Well, I did surprise you with your own family. I guess I can do this. Let's go. Tokyo has changed a lot since I last saw it. Back then, most of the buildings were still made of wood.
I was told it's a pretty impressive city these days. I haven't been here before myself. Anyway, he said he would meet us in Hibiya Park.
Hibiya? That's the one near the Imperial Palace.
Maybe he thought it would be appropriate given your history.
This is a he?
There he is.
Momo? Momo, it really is you. You haven't aged a day, my friend.
I'm sorry, but do I know you?
I suppose time has been a lot crueler to me. It's been a long time since we had to say goodbye at Saipan.
Saipan? Chiba-san? Chiba-san, is that you?
What's with this formal tone all of a sudden? You always called me Little Fujio.
I thought you were...
Dead? Yes, I suppose the existing records would suggest that. We lost a lot of paperwork in the bombing raids, but as you can see, I am still very much alive. 103 years old, but still alive.
I'll leave you two alone. I'm sure you have plenty to discuss.
Sophia,
We'll talk later.
Come, sit, let's chat. How have you been the last 80 years?
I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover. I'm trying to catch up to the present situation.
Are you that stunned?
The last record of you I could find said you volunteered for the kamikaze units. I thought...
Yes, that was true. I did volunteer, but I was rejected. As the sole male heir in my family, they would not allow me to die so needlessly.
Needlessly? Is that how they phrased it?
No. It wasn't how I thought of it at the time either. I was angry, bitter. I demanded to be allowed to give my life for our nation, but my commanding officer refused. I hated him for it, but in retrospect I am thankful. He saved my life. He died before the end of the war, so I could not properly thank him for that.
So if you didn't serve with the kamikaze units, where did you end up?
Right here, in Tokyo. I was transferred to a Homeland Defense Squadron. We were supposed to defend against the bombing raids on our cities, but there weren't many planes left, and we hadn't been fully trained on night fighting tactics, nor were most of your cousins properly converted. There was really nothing we could do.
I heard about it. It sounded awful.
It was when I saw our glorious capital in flames that I realized the war really was over. It wouldn't have mattered if I had given my life up. It would have made no difference. Then the A-bombs were dropped. I didn't witness those, but when we were told, we didn't believe it at first. The truth is, Momo, that we lost the war the day we dared attack Pearl. America doesn't let something like that slide. And they didn't...
You seem so different now. Back then, we would always talk about how we'd be great heroes for the Emperor.
I've had many years to reflect. Rebuilding a leveled city tends to make you question how you've been living your life. I didn't have much to go back to. My father's business had been destroyed, and as a fighter pilot, my unique skills were no longer wanted. I made myself busy and volunteered with a medical relief unit. I was still angry, though. I hated America for what they had done to us, but I was mystified by how hard the occupying forces worked to rebuild our cities, to help our people. It was a mercy we had never afforded to any place we conquered. I started realizing the Americans were not so different from us, except in their kindness. I even started calling some of the Marines friend, which was strange at first, and that's when I met my wife. Her name was Susanna.
Susanna, so she was...
American. Yes, she was a nurse with the Red Cross. She liked how helpful I was, and I admit I found her breathtaking. One thing led to another, and well, she decided to stay with me in Japan. We lost her last year.
I'm sorry.
Ha, don't be. We had many happy years together. See those kids over there?
The boy and the girl?
Those are my great-grandchildren. Their mother, my granddaughter, is around here somewhere. My wish My hope is that they never have to experience what we did, that they don't have to learn the hard lessons we had to.
We did many things that most would see as deplorable.
War is ugly. It is hard to reflect and still maintain pride in our duties. So much needless suffering was done by our hand. I don't even blame America for the bombings anymore. We refuse to give up. What else could they have done? Invade? Kill even more of their own and ours? They did what they had to do in the situation we created.
That's remarkably sensible when you put it like that.
I figured you'd started realizing it too. After all, you have a very good friend in a Spitfire.
Sophia's pretty incredible, not gonna lie.
It was a Mustang that first contacted me though. I think that Sophia girl needed her to get in touch with a lot of old contacts to find me.
Oh goodness, Dallas was a part of this too.
Dallas, yes, that was her name. Nice lady.
Those two, ironic how former enemies can become some of the best friends you've ever had.
Absolutely. And look at how things turned out. Japan is rebuilt. Tokyo is a shining jewel of the East once again. We can come back and be better, so long as we don't forget the mistakes we made. That's why I'm glad you're still here.
Me?
Momo, I am happy to see you for my own personal reasons, of course. But you are a piece of our country's living history. You are a symbol of our past, the good and the bad. It is a past we cannot, should not forget, so we will always stand and be better in the future. I have taught my children as best I can to not go down the road I did. But I have only a short time left in this world. You, however, will remain after I am gone. I hate to put this responsibility on you, but it will be in your hands.
I understand. It's something I've come to realize only recently.
I am glad. There is one more thing I have for you.
It's a bolt?
It took a long time for me to track it down. This is Repu's bolt, part of her fuselage, the only remaining piece of her heart.
Repu. My daughter? You remembered?
How could I not? It was the only time I ever saw you cry. I knew she was gone, but I thought if I could find a piece it might provide closure if we ever met again. I didn't know you were still alive, but I kept this just in case. She belongs with you now.
Chiba-san, this is...
What did I say about the formalities?
Sorry. Little Fujiya, thank you. Thank you so much for this.
You are welcome. You kept me alive in the heart of our war. It's only fair I give you back a piece of yours.
There's one more thing I would like, if it's not too much trouble to ask.
Ask away.
Come fly with me, as my pilot, one last time.
Oh my. I haven't flown anywhere since the war ended. I don't think these old bones can handle any daring maneuvers.
Just a leisure flight, over the city. Please.
Well, I never could say no to you, could I?
You alright?
Yes, more than alright. Last time I saw Tokyo from up here, she was in ruins. Look at her now. Beautiful.
I'm glad I got to see you again.
As am I. This is nice, like old times. But there's one more thing I need to ask you.
Go ahead.
Anata wa jibun no heian o mitsukemashita ka?
Yes, I have, little Fujiya. I have